Cleaning is what I do. Entrepreneur is who I am. Business is my game. Mindset is my focus. If you can't laugh, we can't hang. If I could leave a mark on this world, it would inspire others to live their best life by me living my best life. I've got a heart like a hotel, room for you all. Sometimes I fly and sometimes I fall. I am Shana von K, and I'm here to start your day. So let's have some fun and get started right now.
No, I really can't complain. Wave. Everything is straight.
Talking to your children and preparing them for the school year. I'm not sure how it's going to unfold for everybody because everybody's schools are so unique and different. But as of right now, my son is going back to school. I have a 12-year-old son named Jaden, and he'll be going back to school. I don't believe that they're going full-time into it. They're going to kind of step into it, and hopefully they'll be able to go full back into it. But as we all know, we don't know anything. So we're just going to kind of roll with the punches. I told my son, the best thing to do is just keep waiting to hear from the school, figure out what's going on, and just roll with whatever they decide and not complain about it, not be upset about it, but just, if we have to be home, we have to be home. If we get to go to school, we get to go to school. If it's both, we get both. If I was a kid, that's what I'd want, a little bit of both. But so anyway, we're going to talk about how to kind of prep your children so that they're able to be at school and protecting themselves, because you're not going to be there to do that. So it is a little bit different when you talk to different ages of children. And so I have a 12-year-old son who I can talk to, and he can protect and take care of himself. He doesn't necessarily need me to do it, except for helping to teach him and communicate with him and kind of be on the ball with him. But he's pretty self-sufficient where he can do a lot of it on his own. Versus you've got kindergarten up to second, third grade, where they're gonna need a lot more. They're smaller, but they're capable. I think of my 5-year-old niece when I'm doing all of this. And so what I was gonna say is I've got a couple little key points. I'm looking down at my notes, by the way. I have all these notes. This is all, oh my gosh, I just poked myself in the eye. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the children. So one suggestion I suggest is getting on their level. And so if you have a small child, let them know that you're going to have a real talk about stuff so that they take it serious, get rid of all distractions. So you're not coming down and sitting down with them when they have all their little toys and stuff. I'm waving. All their little toys and stuff all over that they could get distracted. But if come down to their level, don't be above or below, but if they're sitting on the ground, come sit down on the ground with them and have a conversation. Maybe that's different for them, so they'll be like, what's going on? Or go and sit in their bed with them, or just kind of get to their level. And then I would suggest asking them what they know about COVID, what they know about everything that's going on, and that way you can kind of answer. Hi Rachel. You can kind of answer all of their cleaning questions that they will have for you, and you'll kind of know how much they know and what level that you can kind of read them and play in. So if you have a child who's really frightened by stuff, you can know, okay, we need to help them not be scared, but be prepared. Or if they're like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but we've got a little bit more informing to do. But make sure you ask them questions or listen to them and what they know. And that way you can kind of play off them. Another one I suggest is to involve your children in everything. And in the process of, and what I mean by that is preparing for school, paying attention, maybe going to the CDC website, kind of going over things, letting them know the decisions that you're making as a household. If you have multiple children, keeping them all involved, letting them know when you go and maybe not taking them to the store, but if you've got Germ-X and you're putting stuff in their backpack, have them put them in their backpack. Have them understand all the stuff that they need to use. Have them help you pick out their mask. Have them kind of help you build the habits together. And that way that you're all involved and they're involved, because the more involved they are, the more excited they are to help, and they feel like they're a part of it, not just being told what to do, because we all know that doesn't work. So that is another suggestion. Another one is, oh, I can't read my own handwriting. Oh, I thought it said metaphor. Metaphor. I would use metaphors that relate to your kids. So if, for instance, my son he loves games. He's the gamer child, the typical 12-year-old boy. So if I want him to understand things that are going on and why I need him to protect himself and why he needs to wash his hands and why he needs to keep his glove on and why he needs to social distance, I'm going to use like metaphors in the gaming world, like set it up where it's like a challenge or, in Minecraft. Actually, I don't really know Minecraft, but a lot of them are like the war battle ones and be like, we're in a battle with COVID. We're in a battle in a pandemic, and that's what we're fighting, a invisible enemy. Is that what they were calling it? So, let them know that. And so if you have like a daughter like my niece Elisa, she is like more princess. So you can be like, well, princesses take proper care of themselves, and they are always making sure to protect all of the kingdom and everybody in the lands. And that is their job, to be kind and to clean and take care of them and take care of the people around them by taking care of themselves. So just, your child, you know them well. So find something that is a metaphor that they would relate to instead of, a garden where they're like, I don't really know much about that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you do. So I would use a metaphor, and then the next thing would be, oh my gosh, I can't ever read my handwriting. Oh, this is one that I love. This is having them do their part, explaining it to them, their part. What I mean by that is kids are not selfish. They are very much love the people around them. I mean, their parents, their grandparents, their teachers, they are their world and they care about them. So you can use that in teaching them why protecting yourself is so important and protecting others is important. That if you were to bring home something that could get passed on to their grandma and grandpa, how it could affect them. That the teachers that they love, why you're masking up isn't just to protect other students and families, but these are the teachers that are there for you and they take care of you. And so kids will definitely respond more to that than just being like, you need to protect yourself. When you put their hearts into it, they will pay attention to that. My son is like one that walks to and from school, and when I said to him how it would break our hearts if something happened to him, it was his job to protect himself so that it didn't break my heart or Dad's heart or Papa and Nana's heart. It worked on him, and because I spy, of course, I have to drive around and make sure he's looking both ways and paying attention to surroundings. And my son is incredibly good at it, and just kind of a reminder. But I think if I were to tell him, don't do this, look back, look both ways, don't get hit, that's a little bit of it. But to actually say how it would affect, how if something were to happen to him, how it would trickle onto me, how it would trickle onto his nieces and nephews, they wouldn't have him in his life anymore, and how sad we would all be. I mean, that really hit home for him. And I'm sure kids have huge hearts. Okay, so then, and really explain to him how it can affect, like, for my son, it would be his Nana and Papa, who are of that generation that that are more sensitive to it. I don't know what the right word is. Got to be careful. So, and then also your teachers and all of them who have been there, that they've been with through each year at school, and all of the staff that's there, all of them are their friends Jaden loves his teachers, so a part of it is protecting them too, so that they can do their jobs. So I think that's a really good one. And if your kids ask questions, I let them ask their questions and take the time to let them and ask their questions. I just repeated myself. But if you don't have an answer to a question, that's not a big deal. But I would be careful on jumping on in the news and pulling up articles so they're not reading headlines that are like death, 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 and scary, scary, scary. But go to the CDC and you'll be able to answer a ton of questions there and get straight to it. But you can do this together, find the answers together, so that they see that you're learning, we're all working together to get there. So that's a little bit of my advice when talking to your children, because I think it's very important And don't just sit them down maybe one time, but sit them down, have them be involved in maybe Amazon and going and getting all of the things that you need to clean and disinfectant and Germ-X and masks. Have them involved in that. And then my suggestion, one thing, and Fred pointed this out too, that is you don't want to scare your kids. So don't scare them, just inform them. And don't be scared yourself. If you are taking precautions and you are protecting yourself and doing your due diligence to get these things done correctly, you don't need to be scared. You're informed and you're prepared and you can handle it. But if being scared is a lot of fear of the unknown. So don't be afraid of the unknown. Inform yourself with your kids and work together and kind of push past that fear and just be prepared. So I put, don't scare them, inform them. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's what we'll say. Don't be scared, be prepared. Then I put also, don't just talk to your children, but I think it's very important to listen to their concerns. And every child is so unique and individual. And if you have multiple children, I'm a single child in the house, not a single parent, single child. And so I have an individual conversation with him. But if you have different ages in your house, I would suggest doing a family talk, but also taking them, one-on-one and working one-on-one with each, not having them all, so that you can really answer individual questions to each child, because each child is so individually different that the concerns of one won't be the concerns of the others. The fear of one won't be the fear of the other. So you can really pack each backpack and everything you need and get all the supplies you need individually with each kid, if you can. These are just suggestions. Obviously, they're your children and you know what to do, but these are just suggestions. So I have another one. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they have this little test that they do, and this is great for small children. And my sister's gonna be sending me a video, and I will post it, but it's this test where you can take little kids that are younger. My niece is 5, and they put a bowl of water, and then they put a lot of pepper in it, and then they have the kids put their hands in, and you can see the pepper, which the pepper acts, or not acts, it's the bacteria and germs. So you put your hands in and you see all of it sticking. And then they had them wash them and put the soap in their hands, and then they put it down in and you can see them running away. So it's like a good visual science project demonstration for small children. And so I will post that because I think that's a good one to explain, because kids will get things. They're very smart, they pick up on things. And I've had my 5-year-old niece running around wearing a mask, and she it doesn't bother her. I think they play off you. If you're like, oh, masks are cool, let's wear masks, they're into it. But if everyone's around them's like, ugh, I hate these things suck, they're going to mimic you. So you have to be the role model in washing your hands, role model in wearing your mask, role model in doing the washing of your hands. I said that. Germ-X is what I was meant to say. So you need to be a role model, but also remember that they're gonna vibe off you. So if you're afraid, they're afraid. If you're excited about wearing a mask, they're excited about wearing a mask. They're nervous about going to school, you're nervous about going to school, you get what I'm saying. So be the role model and try to keep it positive and try to make it fun, make it more of like a game, and they will enjoy it. And then, let's see, what else did I put on my list to talk to you guys about today? Invest in here's my question for you guys. I want to know if you guys are finding really good masks out there for your children, because I think the key to them being protected is finding the right mask for them to wear, so it's not falling off their face, it's not too big, it's not too small, it's sucking up, or it's uncomfortable. So I think maybe test out a few if you can, or if you know one, let us know. Put it in the description or in the comments and let us know if you are like, I have found a really good, I'm waving. Hi guys, hi Tracy. I just talk so much, you guys, I forget to read all the comments, but we're live so I can breathe and hang out with you. So hello everyone. But yes, do find a good, comfortable mask, one that's not falling off their face. So my suggestion and what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put a couple of masks in. We've ordered one off Amazon. He helped me pick it out. He's excited about wearing it, which I think is good. But I'm also gonna put a couple like disposable ones and maybe try a few other ones and keep him in this backpack so that if this one's falling off his face or he's having a hard time with it, he can go grab another one and put it in until we find out which one he loves and it works for him. Then we maybe order a few more of those for the year, depending if the school year is at home or not. But a good face mask these days is not a bad investment. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna test, but keep a couple in his bag because I think that, like, for me, when I wear a mask, after a while, the one that I have, it will like loosen and it's like falling off my face. So to switch it out might be a good idea for the little ones, and then that way they don't have to keep messing with it and touching their face, and we all know that's how everything gets spread. And we'll talk a little bit more about this the next couple weeks too. But yeah, if you have a face mask that you guys recommend and your kids love it and it's comfortable and it doesn't hurt their ears, and that is what we all want to know. And then let's see here. I wish I was better at flowing in between all of my points, but we'll get there. Okay, so then that's a little bit talking about to your kids. I also wanted to talk about when you're building the habits with your kids of before and after school. Mostly after school. Before school, I'm not sure if your school is requiring or if they do, but if you need to check your child's temperature before you send them to school, you can, I suggest, because I think you can put this in like alcohol and let it sit, but I have a whole mini series on my YouTube where we made wipes, and I mean, we did it back in March. So I'm gonna relaunch it because all of the stuff that we did in this mini series, we called it the mini binge cleaning series, and it was everything to do with disinfecting and cleaning and that. But I like these wipes that we made, and so there's a video if you want to go and look how to make them. But it's just with the alcohol, but you can just wipe them off with this and then kind of let it dry. And so if you have multiple kids to do, I think a wipe is my go-to because you gotta want to sit and soak and then you gotta dry it anyway. So you've already got to wipe it. So I would suggest using that. I'll put that, I forgot my trash can. And then that way you can check their temperatures if you need to. I like to check my temperatures a lot before I go and clean houses, especially if I've like was around a crowd or in a situation where I'm like, ooh, maybe I should be checking my temperature because I don't know, it makes me feel better about going into other people's homes, but also for your children. And then also to protect all of our teachers at school and stuff. So if you have that, so going off to school would be checking their temperatures, preparing them by sitting down and talking to them. They have, what I think would be great to have in their backpack is having Germex in their backpack and having extra masks in their backpack. I can't think of anything right now, but I'm sure I will. And if you have suggestions, you guys, please let us know. Everybody wants to help everybody in this situation. I think it's a beautiful way for us all to come together and get through this together. And so those are great ones. But here's my thing when they get home from school, and I think this would be really good to set up. You can go as extreme and as little as you want, but I think a good ground rule is when they come home. So I'm gonna kind of just switch this over here. If you can see, actually, you know what? Come with me. So if you can see right here, here is our front door. We don't have a drop zone in my house. We have a very little house. We don't have a drop zone, but we do have the door. And this is where everybody puts all of hangs up their coats, everything like that, and shoes. So I would suggest having them take their, give me a second to put that back down. Take their shoes off at the door. Don't have them be carrying their shoes in. Just leave them at the door. Have their backpacks go at the door. Have them take their jackets off at the door. And then, come with me. I'm gonna grab this. Here is what I would do with the face mask every day. You can wash them every day if you want. It kind of depends on how dirty they're getting, but this is what we do with ours. So I'm a huge fan of a big Lysol disinfectant spray these are my favorite because it's so easy. I use it for the couches. I use it for all things disinfecting, but I love it on fabric. Okay, I love it on fabric, but we just kind of, and I like the smell of it. I'm weird. Ooh, smell of it. And then we just let that sit and it hangs and it's ready to go for the next day. So you can have that. I would even hit up maybe spraying down their backpacks and maybe spraying down their shoes as well. There, so you can see it. So that you can spray those as well. This is my go-to, and it's actually, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think it's fun to spray down with like Lysol. Everything smells good, you feel better, and it's killing and disinfecting for you. So have them put that at the door. And a thing that I would suggest is having them come home and taking a shower. Just send them in, and it's like part of like after school, you drop your backpack, drop your stuff, and then you go and you take a shower, and then you're home for the day. So, and leave all that stuff there. Now if they have homework, the wipes, getting a good wipe, I think is great for wiping down your books, your textbooks, things like that, pens, papers, and all of that items. But as far as that, I would just have them set it at the drop zone, go shower it off, and then boom, you're home. That way you're not spreading it into the house and you're leaving everything at the door. And then also have them hit, depending on their age, but little ones you'll probably have to help and you'll have to be with them, probably helping them the beginning. But if, for instance, you have an older child like I do, I have a 12-year-old, he is in charge, and I trust my son to do it because I've sat down with him and he is, well, he's an only child, so it is a little bit different when you have an only child because they don't have brothers and sisters that are distracting them or getting them in trouble. So you know your children, you know what to do. But have them spray down like the door handles and spray down all of those things, and maybe if they have like keys to get into the house, spraying those down too. And it's just like an after school thing they do. They go shower and then they get their snack or their homeworks out. So then, oh hey guys, I'm just waving up a storm. If you have any questions, feel free. We're talking about back to school disinfecting for our kids. And then at the end of the school week, or now you can go as extreme as you want and wash everything every night. You know your household, you know how protective you need to be. I am in a pretty safe place because I'm in Nebraska and we're one of the safer places, but these precautions help us to not have to worry about bringing them into the home and spreading them out. And then at the end of the week, we can take the backpack and do a thorough clean out of it. You can wipe down everything again. You're washing their clothes, have their clothes when they take a shower, putting them into a basket, making sure they're not going back into their basket to get those clothes. We all know that happens. And just making sure you're washing through those clothes, putting them away, and kind of doing like a weekend rinse and ready to rock the next week of school. Which hopefully, oh, Fred, you joined me on Instagram. Fred's on there. Say hi to Fred. Fred's the one behind the camera. We're gonna say hi to Fred real quick. Hi. Fred is my Oz of all videos. All my YouTube videos, he taught me everything I know, and I could not be more grateful to him. And he's so nice. So he's like, you don't have to say anything. I'm like, come on, Fred, you are the man. So he joined us. You can go check out his Instagram, you guys. He's a videographer and has a company here in Omaha, which is called Legacy Film Studio, and it's pretty cool, all the videos and stuff they do. Some of the projects that he works on are, like, I get jealous, like, can I come? But yeah, so I think that pretty much sums up some of the basic building those habits with your children. And don't just say after school this is what you're gonna do, but have them be like, what should we do after school to keep the germs from coming in? And that way they can be like, well, we could spray our backpacks. Oh yes, we could spray our backpacks, good idea. And then be like, have them involved with it and building that habit with you, and they could be like, oh yeah, we could take a shower, because if it's their idea, they're a little bit more into it. But let them be involved with it, and it's a team effort. It's like mom and son or daughter or kids. We as a family protect each other. We do these things not just for ourselves. We do them for everyone in the household. And kids love that. And like I said before, use metaphors that you would relate to your kids. So if your kid's like a huge cat lover, you know, find a way to metaphor that in. I don't really know how, but good luck. You know your kid. My son's a gamer, so I go into like battle zone. This is a war. And he's like, yeah, this is a war. You know, that's how kids roll. And then, oh, I do want to mention something. And a lot of people I follow on Instagram are cleaners. So you know, but just in case you guys don't know, cleaning, and I mean, this is the difference. And I did a whole mini series on this, and we're gonna relaunch it because it's just so relevant. And I mean, we talk about how to disinfect your electronics. We make wipes. We talk about sprays, what kind of alcohol levels that you need, disinfectants, and how to read the labels. Like, we talk about going out in public. We didn't have masks at that time, though. That's one thing that you don't see in any of our videos. It was back in March, and it was like right when everything hit. So we didn't have any masks, but other than that, all of the basics of cleaning and disinfecting and telling people the difference, because cleaning removes and disinfectant kills. So those are two different things that you need both of them for. Oh, my question of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and ask that. The question of the day, actually I have two, because I just thought of another one. The question of the day that I originally had was, I wanted to know, no, I just forgot it. Do you remember what it was? It was about, what is your biggest concern with your children going back to school? That I think I would like to know and see if it's anything we can help with cleaning. But I'm curious, what is the thing that makes you your biggest concern about it? Like, what are you the most worried about? Because everybody's are all different. And then I also, question of the day, want to know what your favorite like disinfectant. Are you someone who's like wipes all day long? Are you spray? Or are you like, we got to clean it, we got to wash everything? Like, what's your favorite kind of disinfectants? Because I think, well, of course, mine's great value because I'm cheap. Everybody knows that about me. I'm actually proud about that. But I got this at Walmart. That's Walmart's brand. But I like anything that's like an aerosol can that you can spray. But spraying, cleaning first and spraying is always great. But just to do like little things like the mask, like we sprayed earlier, we do spray these. And then these are the things, if they have masks, where you can spray them in between the day, and then on the weekends give them a wash. Maybe get a little bucket of soap and laundry detergent and just hand wash them is what we've been doing. But like, you know, you can probably throw them in the wash and they would be okay. But yeah, so that is the questions of the day. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're 2 minutes over? Oh, is that why you waved me that I'm at the 5? Oh, okay. Well, then I guess wrapping up is a good thing. Well, that might be all of the things that we needed to talk about. Oh, so if you weren't able to watch this live, which means whoever I'm talking to right now, that we're going to post it on YouTube. I'm going to take the footage and edit it and put it onto YouTube tomorrow. We'll always have them up the day after we go live on Wednesday mornings. And then this is a limited live series, but I'm really enjoying it, so who knows, it might last longer. And then, yeah, so you can go to YouTube, Seasons Cleaning YouTube, and subscribe there and check. So all the videos will be there. So if you can't hang with us next week, you can just go onto YouTube and then answer the question of the day, because I really want to know the 2 questions of the day. And I think that's all I had to say. So I think since we're past time, I probably should end it, since I told you I was going to, and I don't want to be late because I got to clean today. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun, and I will see you next week.